how does he do it? Favourite pyjamas? What started out as a little rib became this great big gaping hole in his favourite pyjamas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them up, and then he can use them through the spring and summer. Luckily, I've got some decent lines to follow for cutting and things. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn them up. I'll show you around the sewing machine if you've not seen one before and how they work. They're pretty basic once you get used to them. So let's get on with it. Dadskillz. Okay, so offending trousers. Where are we going to go? So we're going to, I think for ease, I'm going to cut off this line to give me as much pyjama to play with as I've got. So basically I'm going to cut all the way around this one. I'm going to copy that on the other one. Now, if I didn't have these lines, which I know line up perfectly, then I'd get my measuring tape out and what have you, but this has made it a lot easier. Right, what we got? Do they line up fine? Yeah, they line up nice, okay. There we go, they're going to be short shorts. So we're going to have to limit the amount that we turn them over. I'm going to turn them over twice. So the first one will give us a nice edge, and the next turnover will hide that and stop that fraying. So it'll be like that. Okay, next I'm going to iron them. Because I'm hopeless with pins, I'm going to put the first crease in it myself. So I'm going to iron it over, fold that edge round, iron that over, and then it won't keep turning around when I'm trying to sew it up. So that's the first job. Not an easy job, obviously, as you can see, but that's the first job. Hold it nice and tight. Copy that, we're not going to see that anyway. Cool, there's the first one done. That's not going to come loose when I'm putting just a running stitch down that one. I think I'll just only do running stitches anyway. You'll see what that is when we get to that. He's not going to wear these out anywhere, obviously being pyjama trousers. So no one's going to see these. So this is just a nice quick and easy one. If you've never had a go on a sewing machine before, this is just a very quick intro. Obviously, if you do this more often than me, you'll be able to tell me and give me some tips in the comments below. Right, ironing done, put that away. Right, here she is. I wanted one of these for years, and it only cost me about 80 or 90 quid probably. And the amount of trousers that I've turned up with it, and repairs and things I've made, it's been well worth the investment. So, very basic sewing machine. We'll have a look at setting it up in a moment. And then it's got the power lead. If you've not seen one before, plug. This plug goes into the machine, and that's the go pedal for your foot. Right, let's set it up, shall we? So first we need to put our little bobbin in down here. So that just slips in, and then pull it round. There's a little hook that you can't see down there that it needs to go underneath, and that will just stay there for the time being. Put that back on. Right, I found myself another bobbin, same colour. Put that up and put that in there. So we've got our cotton here that will go through there, just like the picture. Down here, foil number 2, around here, number 3, and then up here. And on that silver thing there is a hook. Now to get that hook to come where I want it, I'm going to turn the wheel slightly, and now it's right down there. So that is really easy to get to. That thread is now around that hook. So now the thread comes down, our thread will go through that. Okay, so this is always the tricky bit. So what I do, if you can see this okay, but I make sure I've got a really nice cut on the end with no wispy bits hanging off. That's that. Then give it a little lick. Find the awl. Now you can get a special little device that you put in through the eye of the needle first. Put your thread on it and then pull it through. And because I do it so very rarely, I'm generally okay. But they do save a bit of time. Right, there we go, we're through. Right, next job, before we can do any sewing, is we now need to bring this out of there. And so, to do that, we go backwards with the wheel. I should get it. There it is, pull it all the way through. So now we end up with that coming out underneath the needle and this going off that way too. So I'm going to give them both a pull. I want to make sure I've got enough. And the next thing we need to look at are our settings here. And I'm just going to be doing a very basic running stitch. So we've got our little thing at the top there, tell us what we're doing. And we are going to go number 11. Okay, now we can actually start doing some stuff. There's a little panel that comes off around the side here. So I can actually sleeve this end with the trousers. So we're going to make a start. And I'm just going to keep that in line with the side of the work, just to make it easier for me. Okay. Then when you get a bit confident and you're on a nice run, you can turn the power up a bit. There's no need to pull it, just guide it, because under here the little teeth are feeding it through anyway. I've almost met where I started. So there's a little backwards function. I'm just going to press down and hold down on the sewing machine. And go forwards again. Right, cool. So, pull that off. I'm going to give myself plenty of thread. So I'll show you that in a moment. So now I'm just going to do the other side. This is just the first fold. This is just doing the first bit of hem. And as you can see, we've got quite a nice stitch in there, haven't we? And we've got all these bits of thread everywhere. I'm just going to cut those straight off because I've gone forwards and backwards over one part, so it's very unlikely that's going to come apart. And also, the next phase is again to turn them up and do a proper nice running stitch along there. So these won't be in harm's way. Cut all those off. Now you'll see in the next one I do, I will tie these off nicely because they'll be the finished bit. Right, okay, there we go. What have we got? So that's the first bit done. So I decided it would be easier if I ironed these again. So that's what we'll do. That'll make it a lot easier for the sewing. How's that? That looks fairly uniform, doesn't it? Perfect, ready to sew. Same stitch again. No need to do anything fancy, they're only for around the house. So again, I'm going to use this edge as my guide. Right, pull my thread through. Where are we? Right, I'm not going to go backwards this time. We're going to take it out, and then we're going to tie those threads off properly. Okay, next one. Okay, pull that out, cut them off nice and long. More than happy with that, but one thing we need to resolve, and that is all these threads we've got hanging about. So I'm going to actually tie these off properly now. That's that one. So there's two on the same side that I'll tie off together. Right, let's tie these two together. So I've tied them together 3 times. That's not coming undone, is it? So, okay. So that's one side done and tied off. Happy with that. There we go. Another Dadskillz job done. Happy with that. Rough and ready. Little quick fix and repair. And that should last him another 6 or 8 months through the spring and summer. Right, as usual, in the comments below, let me know any tips or tricks that you know. And that's it from Dadskillz. We'll see you again really soon.
Dadskillz, 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 Dadskillz.
What's wrong with them?
These are our best trousers, now you ruined them.
I ruined them? You put a massive hole in them.
So